Hey, Shalom. Shalom, giving all praises, all glory, all honors unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Rakah Kudash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. This is the brother Tazawa from GMS Atlanta. Back with another edifying video. And I want to speak on this post. This post by the brother GMS Dedication, which is based on an article, and he put it in the community post. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna do a video on what this brother put up, and let me jump right into it. So it says, more than 20 people returning to the U.S. from Cuba have been infected with the virus transmitted by bugs in recent months. Federal health officials said Tuesday they all had oral pochivirus disease, also known as sloth fever. Now, I did a recent video dealing with this sloth fever myself, which I have it up here, and this was not even two weeks ago. And you can see it here. Terrifying sloth fever virus has spread to humans, with 19 victims in Europe so far, and now experts warn we should be worried this could become unstoppable. So the last couple days this week, I've been going into the different outbreaks that has been occurring, different diseases, different illnesses, pestilences, or plagues that have been spreading in various places around the world. And, we seem to be living in times that are really manifesting themselves to ending the world as we know it. And of course, I mean the world as far as this society, this normal, everyday 9-to-5 living. And really, the best thing that we can do is, those of us in this truth, is to, wake up in the morning, thank the Lord, and, do the work. Like Yahushua said, paraphrasing, the day will take care of itself. Now, of course, we are going through every brother and sister has their different tribulation that we go through from day to day. But turning to the Lord and and it comes down to mood too. You might not feel like it. A lot of times you don't feel like it. But there's something powerful about pressing towards the mark, as the scriptures say, pressing towards the prize, pressing toward not letting anything get you down. And this is just a brief exhortation. I do a lot of videos pertaining to articles and different news reports, news and prophecy. Hence why my channel is The Spirit of Prophecy. So I get a lot of news that is unfortunate. I read a lot of articles, watch a lot of videos that is showing bad and evil times. But that's why it's important that as we continue to watch, like Yahushua said, we also pray, and that we do our best to sow within ourselves positivity. One thing to change your mood is our people got to change their diet. There's things that are lawful to eat, but then there are healthy ways to eat according to the dietary laws. So there's levels to this. Even within the dietary laws, man, there's levels. You know, uh, so we can do better, and that would make us be better. Doing better equals being better. So I just want to say that. So these different reports, like I said, now I put this up not even 2 weeks ago. More pestilences, sloth virus spreads to humans, and mpox now in Texas. I haven't even heard anything else from that pestilence right there. So maybe I'll get something later on. But now back to what the brother posted, GMS dedication. Because, let me see here. Right, so it says terrifying sloth fever virus has spread to humans with 19 victims in Europe. And this was 2 weeks ago. But now what the brother just put up, it says more than 20 people returning to the U.S. from Cuba. Okay, so this is an update to the sloth virus. It says, it says now none have died, and there is no evidence that it's spreading in the United States. But officials are warning U.S. doctors to be on the lookout for the infection in travelers coming from Cuba and South America. That includes the immigrants, the different tribes coming here. And then also, too, you also have a lot of these refugees from Africa and other war-torn, civil war-ridden countries are also being allowed to come into this country through South America and the Caribbean and through certain borders. So that's also something to look forward to. It's not always necessarily going to be a so-called white American citizen or, maybe, one of our people just coming back from vacation, which makes sense that it is coming at this point in time because, you have kids getting back to school, summer vacation, people are taking the last few days or weeks of vacation and they're coming back to the States. So, there's possibilities for these pestilences to spread from one country and one person to the next. So it says oral poultry virus that is native to forested tropical areas. Oral poultry is a virus that is native to forested tropical areas. It was first identified in 1955 in a 24-year-old forest worker on the island of Trinidad and was named for a nearby village and wetlands. It has sometimes been called sloth fever because scientists first investigating the virus found it in a three-toed sloth and believed sloths were important in the spread between insects and animals. So it says the virus is spread to humans by small biting flies called midges. I believe they have midges in the islands. It says, and by some types of mosquitoes. And see, what I've noticed, if you've been watching my videos the last few days, these pestilences that are spreading are all exclusively being spread by mosquitoes. I did a video yesterday with the mosquito-borne or mosquito-carrying illness that affected a woman here in Atlanta. And then you had certain mosquito-borne viruses. Matter of fact, let me see. All right. No, let me do this. So this was okay. Yeah, West Nile, right? And then you also have the triple E virus, which is also spread through mosquitoes, right? Which is the equine. I forget the full term. Equine encephalitis virus, which has been spread to people being infected in multiple states. West Nile virus has affected someone here in Atlanta. And then now you have this sloth fever, which is also can be spread by mosquitoes. So that's just something to look into. It could be Esau, or it could just be the Lord. Yahweh Shema Shai. The scripture says, shall there be evil in the city and the Lord had not done it? Okay. So now let me get back to this brother's post. It says, humans have become infected while visiting forested areas and are believed to be responsible for helping the virus make its way to towns and cities. So the pestilence is spreading through these different cities. But person-to-person transmission hasn't been documented. Beginning late last year, the virus was identified as the cause of large outbreaks in Amazon regions where it was known to exist, as well as in new areas in South America and the Caribbean. About 8,000 locally acquired cases have been reported in Bolivia, Brazil, Colombia, Cuba, and Peru. So that's among the different Israelite tribes. So it's not, when it comes to the spread of pestilence, it's not just about, are there American cases? There's cases of these different diseases spreading amongst our people throughout the world and the other nations as well. Okay? Remember, Ebola was a big crisis, almost 10 years ago? And then when the cases started to spread here in America, I believe there were cases here in Atlanta. They took one patient to Emory, maybe a couple patients to Emory here in Atlanta. Then Texas were found some cases, and other places. That's when you had Doctors Without Borders was a big thing in the news. And then a few years after that, that's when you had the C119 virus spread throughout 2019, 2020, 2021, and then they introduced the Jew shot. But now you're seeing these different pestilences are coming back to back, So what is the Spirit telling us? It says some travelers have been diagnosed with it in the U.S. and Europe. Right, because I did the first video about the cases in Europe. It says the Center for Disease Control and Prevention on Tuesday said 21 U.S. cases have been reported so far, 20 in Florida and 1 in New York, all of whom had been in Cuba. European health officials previously said they had found 19 cases, nearly all among travelers. And that's what I was reporting on here. As you can see, the 19 victims in Europe updated to the 21 cases here in the U.S. So this is what the scriptures mean when it tells us, those of us that serve the Lord as prophets, to watch and pray. Because these, being able to give these daily, weekly updates is a beautiful thing. I'm glad the Spirit is on me to share this. So now we can be on high alert. And the best way to really prevent or get rid of these illnesses is a proper diet, healthy. You see the Apostle Paul pushing exercise. That's not just for his personal well-being. That's for his own well-being, but there's also to inspire and promote good practices amongst the body, amongst the hopeful elect. Because when all hell breaks through out here, you're not going to be able to, remember 2020, 2021, we couldn't go to the gym, masks, it was trying times. And that's when a lot of people started to get more healthy. So using that same logic and having the wisdom from 3-4 years ago, we carry that on into what we see happening now. Okay? So the water to the brother. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and like this post. Right? GMS dedication, the water. All right, now let me get a scripture. You know what? I really only need one scripture. All right? I'll leave you with one scripture. One good precept. All right? I believe it's going to be in Ezekiel, but let me... because, we got Matthew 24, Luke 21. But it mentioned about these diseases were spreading to the different cities and towns. So this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 7 and 15. It says, "The sword is without, and the pestilence and the famine within. He that is in the field shall die with the sword, and he that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall devour him." Now that doesn't mean that there's not going to be all cases in all areas and regions, but especially here in the cities where you got to get food shipped in and out to these grocery stores, and you have mass numbers of people living around each other together, commuting back and forth. There's definitely cause for alarm when it comes to these plagues and these food shortages, because if people get sick and you're around a bunch of people in the city, then it can spread to you quicker. Or where there's food shortages in the city, everybody's going to try to leave out and go somewhere else, and it can get chaotic that way. And it's saying that at the end of the day, people are going to die. So let me read this in the NLT. It says, "There is war outside the city, and disease and famine within. Those outside the city walls will be killed by enemy swords. Those inside the city will die of famine and disease." Those inside the city. So this is what we see spreading. Okay? It says the survivors who escape to the mountains, even if you leave out the city, will moan like doves weeping for their sins. So this is judgment from the Lord for our people's sins. And everyone as well. So, I'm going to end it here. I hope this was edifying. Right? I want to give all praises, all glory, all honors unto Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Makakwadash. Once again, double honors to the apostles, bishops, elders of Great Millstone. Shalom.